Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this week to Mariel's Realistic Real Estate Advice. I'm Mariel with Fathom Realty, and today I want to cover survey coverage. It's something that is on the 1-4 family residential contract. It's paragraph 6A8, and it's something that some folks either are not really knowledgeable about, they don't know why it's important, and if it's something that can be negotiated between the buyer and the seller, and when it's appropriate to be taking advantage of what title can do to make sure that your survey is accurate. All right, let's talk about survey coverage. I'm gonna break it down as simply as possible, but I wanna read out the paragraph in the 1-4 family residential contract that it states this, okay? Since I don't practice law, I'm just gonna read it out verbatim. And it says, paragraph 6A8 reads, the standard printed exemption as to discrepancies, conflicts, shortages in the area or boundary lines, encroachments or protrusions, or overlapping improvements. So if title finds any of the following, you have two choices, okay? So the first choice is whatever is found will be amended or deleted from title policy, or 2, it will be amended to reach shortages in area at the expense of a buyer or seller. So this is where the negotiation comes into play. And depending on what kind of market you're in, if it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, more than likely it's going to be a seller's market. But let's talk about when this would be appropriate and what kind of situation you'd be in if you want to mark yes, you want that survey coverage. Okay, so when is this appropriate to care about these things and to make sure that you mark that you want title to do a little bit more research to make sure everything's on point? So I'll give you examples. If you are purchasing a new home and the builder is giving you a new survey, or you're purchasing a new survey as part of your closing costs, and everything is basically brand spanking new. The lots have been divided. There has been not enough time for basically improvements or changes for your neighbor, for you to have made to make any discrepancies against the survey that has been recently done. So if it's a new build, I wouldn't pay extra, okay? But 2, if it is a home that has been established for a while, if it's more than 10 years old, or if you're buying a property with some acreage, then yeah, this is something that I might look into. If there's been many homeowners previously, just remember that an existing survey, it can be as long as there is no permanent structure that is added or taken out, and everything is as is today, then there really isn't a need for a new survey. But here's the thing, a survey, when it's done at that point in time, right? So if it's been some time, for example, if there's been a huge storm and a fence has been blown down and your neighbor and you go halfsies and they build it, what if they built that fence a little bit more on your property and they go over your property line? Or maybe there's been improvements from one of your neighbors or yourself, and you by accidentally spill concrete or have an improvement on someone else's property. You want to know these possible discrepancies when you purchase or when you sell your house. So survey coverage, as simply put, it is giving you the coverage and protection if any of these things were to happen. So title is going to do a little bit more research, and they are going to make sure that the survey that is already existing or the new one that needs to be done is going to be accurate. Let's talk about cost real quick, because I feel like not many people understand how inexpensive it is, and it could be a nice way for the seller to give the buyer a little bit of reassurance that what they have for an existing survey is accurate. Or it might be something that the buyer gives in a very active market. There's multiple bids on a home, and you're willing to pay for it in order to make your offer strong or competitive, right? So let's talk about cost. So survey coverage is only 5% of the basic rate of residential owner policy of title insurance. Sorry, that was a lot of words. Ugh. So let's break this down as an example. Say you're purchasing a house for $250,000. That basic title rate is going to be about probably $1,600 and some change. So let's use $1,623 as that total. It's 5% of the 1623. So for the survey coverage, you're gonna be paying $81.15 just to make sure everything is legitimate. Surveyors are human. Sometimes we make mistakes as human beings, or we forget something, or we don't mark something correctly. So for $81.15 on a $250,000 home, it may be worth it to get that survey coverage. Now, just keep in mind, as the higher price of home you go, it does go up, but even more so of a reason to make sure that this huge investment that you're about to make, that the survey that's always going to be associated with your property is exactly the way it should be written out and drawn out. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to talk with you guys about today. It's just survey coverage. It's just one of the paragraphs that there is some negotiation that can happen. It's on the 1 to 4 family residential resale. And it is important. And again, take in consideration what position that you're in, what type of home that you're going to be purchasing or selling, and ask your realtor their advice. If there's another topic that you'd like for me to talk about, please let me know. If there's a topic that, as you of a previous homeowner or seller, that you wish that you knew a little bit more about, please write a comment and I'd love to discuss that. As always, I hope this information is helpful. I hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next time.